Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Wheels. Today we are in the wheels of Rebecca Woodvine. She is a young up and coming racer from the UK. She does cyclocross as well as a bit of mountain bike, I believe, and is starting to do a bit more road as well. So it's really exciting to have her on, and yeah, I just hope you enjoy the chat we have. Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you for having me.
It's always good to chat to someone different and someone who's got
Yeah.
kind of a wealth of experience, I would say, at different levels. So I guess first question, as always, really is like, how did you get into cycling?
To be honest, I'm not really too sure. Like, I think I was so young when I started that I've just kind of just started. I feel like you go through the phase where you ride a bike and then that's kind of it. But I don't know, I think I just carried on and then managed to get here somehow. It was a bit weird, but yeah. I think my dad kind of pushed me into it and then literally three or four, something like that. And then yeah, I've kind of never looked back really. So
Gosh, because like I remember when I was little, like riding around my little area and like doing imaginary races in my head. I don't know if that was anything you did, but like it,
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw my dad race one day, and I was like, I kind of want to do this, but I'm not old enough. And
mm.
then we realized that I was old enough. I just needed to look around and realize that there is an under six category. And I don't think we realized that actually was. Um.
Gosh.
So yeah, and then I was pretty young when I started. So yeah, it's been a while.
So this is like what a 13-year career to this point, give or
Yeah,
take.
pretty much. Yeah,
Like,
like I think the first racing I think I was six when I first started racing. But being
wow.
able to ride a bike, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, like pinning on a number, you could probably do that in your sleep by now.
Oh, yeah, probably. I could probably run through the whole race routine off the back of my hand. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's mad. But like, yeah, like at what point did you, obviously you said you wanted to race, like at what point did you go, oh, I want to go national with it. I want to go, do World Cups in Europe
Yeah.
with it.
I was a footballer for a few years as well, so I managed to get
Wow.
to national level at that. And then I think it was about COVID time, and I was like, you can't train football anymore, obviously, because it's a team sport. And then I was like, oh, let's just keep riding my bike and see what happened. I think COVID was a bit of a turning point for me.
Hmm.
I think because I realised that you can train on your own outside, and it was actually really sunny in COVID as well. So I was like, let's just keep training and see what happens. And I think it was after COVID when I came out, and I was like, I've had a good block of 2 years of training there, and I got to the first national. I was like, oh, I'm not going too bad here. I think it was
Hmm.
then I was like, I kind of want to take it a bit further than just regional. So since then, I've kind of stepped up a little bit.
Yeah. Would you say that, 'cause, like, obviously COVID was monumental and, quite traumatic for a lot of people, but would you say it actually helped your cycling career in a way and was almost not a blessing? I would never want to call it a blessing, but you know what I mean? Like, was it
Yeah,
arguably a good thing for you?
I think it was. I think looking at it, me and my dad always said COVID was definitely the point where I was like, yeah, that has been a turning point in cycling a little bit. Because I
Mm.
think I fell out of the love a little bit, like when I was playing football, and then I was like, oh, I love it again now. I can actually do it without any pressure. Because obviously there was no races either, so
Mm.
you could just ride your bike for fun. And I think that's what I love, just being able to just go out. And I can go out for as long as I want either, because obviously school didn't really matter. I was what, year eight maybe, so it didn't really matter either. So it's just oh, I can just go with the flow now and see what happens.
And yeah, year eight's like the best year actually, because
Yeah,
like
it was no one
honestly, like
cares.
yeah, well, year seven you've got something to prove. It's a new school. Year
Yeah,
nine you've got like key stage three sats, then and sort of prep for GCSE, and then obviously the GCSE years and the A level years for
yeah, it's a bit
11,
more full
10,
on
11,
there.
12. But like year eight is the perfect year to get away with not doing much.
Yeah, well,
Like,
there was no school either because no one knew how to set up teams or anything. So I was like, well, I can just go with I just go and train now. No one's ever gonna know because like they're never gonna check all our work that we did in lockdown. It's gonna be like stacks high, so it doesn't really matter. So I think it was
Yeah,
definitely a
that is a
turning
good
point.
point. Like,
Yeah.
oh, just the admin to go through everyone's work for 5 months. Oh, no thanks. Like, I tried being
Yeah.
a teacher and that was bad. Like, I couldn't imagine that level of stuff. Oh, no thanks. No, no, no. Um, so yeah, like obviously now you're at college as well as cycling. How do you manage to kind of balance the two? Do you balance the two, in fact?
Uh, I think during the cross season, it's quite full on. Like,
Mm.
you like obviously my college is quite good that I only have half days, so I either have the morning or the afternoon to train, and then I don't know. I think you get back from Belgium like sometimes, and you're like the Rudevord weekend. I got back on the like Monday night, and I was straight in Tuesday morning, and I was like, I am exhausted. But like, you kind of have to realize that like it's only going to be a year, like 2 years. So that, like once you get past that, I've got all the time in the world to do what I want. But it is hard. But you just kind of have to manage it. I think if you ask a busy person to do something, they'll always do it.
Mm.
So I think that's what you kind of have to go with. That I will get it done. It's just you've got to find the time to do it.
Yeah, of course. And if I may ask, what are you actually studying at college?
Geography, P, and statistics.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a mix of colouring some
yeah,
maps and looking at numbers
yeah.
with a
It's
bit
quite a
of
mix.
sport. Wow.
Yeah, I think the P is like the easy one. You kind of like sit back and relax and that. And then I started taking maths. I didn't enjoy maths, so I was like, let's just take statistics instead. Like it's a bit more like real life, and you can actually get your head around it rather than maths. Oh my god, just like numbers everywhere. You're like, where do I even start with this? And then yeah, geography is just that's quite. It's still quite hard, but once you get like your head around certain things, it's okay.
Yeah, I think maths was actually my big subject at school, and like,
Oh,
yeah, I just liked it. It was something that worked. Although mechanics, I can't get my head around. Like, that's my limit is when
yeah.
we start talking about mechanics and the number of times I've looked at a pulley system and tried to figure out the speed of it and just can't get anywhere. It's yeah. There's bits coming back to me now I'm talking about it. I wish they would just stay in that memory box. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Get
yeah,
away.
that's quite a good mix, and I
Yeah.
guess with a geography as well. Like with traveling to World Cups, you do get to see different types of city and different types of town.
I
Like
was gonna say,
Australia,
I think I've seen like every road in Belgium now, probably. So,
yeah. Well, it's a remarkably small country compared to us, so
yeah.
there's fewer of them, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I've talked about World Cups a couple of times, and you've mentioned cyclocross and the busy season. Like, how was your cyclocross season?
I think it was really good. I think I started off the year and I was like, yeah, it'll be an okay season because I didn't have like that many proper good results. And
Hmm.
then I think we got to about the midpoint where I started going to Belgium more, and I was like, yeah, I can like hit top 30, top 20. Like I hit what did I get like 20th at Rudevord, I think it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in a good place. And
Hmm.
then I didn't race for the whole of December because I was like, I just need a break. Like it's so full on. Everyone goes out to Christmas period, and I'm like, I get back from that and I'm exhausted. Like I just it's national champs as well. So I was thinking,
Hmm.
national champs, I want to do well. And last year I just was into it. I was so ill. And I was like, I shouldn't have raced, but I did. So then this year I felt fresh and I was like, yeah, I can probably get a good result. Like the whole week before, I said to everyone, I was like, I can get a good result. And then yeah, to get a pretty decent result in national champs, I was like pretty happy with that. So
Yeah, 'cause was
yeah,
it ninth overall and fourth under 23?
yeah, I was pretty happy with
That's
that.
that's amazing, especially like just the standard of the women in general is
Oh
really
yeah,
high. Like
it's crazy.
you got Anna Kay, who's been racing for Yonks. You've got Imogen and Kat, who are like just crazy talented juniors, well,
Yeah,
former juniors. Um, you got Zan, who's won the event, and I was super glad at that. And
yeah.
like to to just be mixing it in that sort of field, and as you say,
I
fourth
mean,
under 23 is
yeah.
crazy.
I think as well, I was a bit of like a bit of an underdog. Like I said to my dad, I was like, I think I could probably get top 10 elite, but I'm not too sure. Like I think it'd be pushing it to get it because I was looking at this like the field and I was like, there's so many good people there that it's gonna be such a hard race. And I think I just came into it with the right mentality. Like I was so happy with the course. I've always loved Cycle Park. I've always just like loved the course there, loved racing there. I just think it's a great place to race. And then like I don't know, I just like felt confident as well. But like I just everything just seemed to slip into place that week, and I was like, I can get a good result. I just need to put my head into it. I think I really like put into it, like all my effort into it, and managed to get a good result. So
Mm.
it did
How
take quite a
much,
lot.
like, how much of the sport then for you is mental versus how much is physical?
I think I think for me, I just once I'm happy and I'm content with something, I think I can put all my all into it, and that's when
Mm.
like I know there's like everyone's similar strengths. I'd say like obviously like I think a lot of the sport is mental. I think if you've got to go into the mentality like into the race with a complete correct mentality, otherwise everything can just fall apart. Like in the race, I ended up losing a shoe, slipped on the steps, and I could have so gone like, oh, I'm done with this race now, and I didn't. I was just like, I'm just going to keep going. So
Mm.
I think for me, it is quite a lot of mentality.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, when I was riding, like, I always did well uphill, but part of that, I swear, was because I liked going uphill,
Yeah,
and that, like, that's the first barrier to overcome. And it's kind of what you're saying is like, if you're happy, you end up riding better because
yeah,
I think I don't know if you've read the book by Dan Bigham. Um,
no,
it's very engineering, and it talks a lot about the Socratic method of always asking why, like, why are we doing this?
yeah,
Is this the best way to do it? Is there a better way? And keep going to the end of that. But one thing he talks about is like happiness watts,
yeah,
and how, like, I swear there's a study done where, like, they found someone happier put out more watts than when they're
yeah,
unhappy.
yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy that it actually has physical machinations.
Yeah,
It's not just
yeah. I think it's just like it's like the 1%, isn't it? It's like
mm,
if you feel happy on a course, you feel confident with the course. I just think everything else kind of slips into place. Like you could have the worst legs ever, but as long as like you're still happy because you like the course and you feel confident on it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And how, like, did you have to race differently at nationals versus at, like, Belgium? Because, like, obviously there's different field strength, different, I guess, depth, as
Yeah.
well as, like, different objectives, I assume.
Um, I think it was like obviously because it's national champs, so it's quite a lot different to
Mm,
like any other race. But I think I just went into the mentality just like always stay near the front because I knew it was super muddy, and I was like watching the races the day before. I was like, it's so icy out there, and it's just like the top layer was so slippy that I was like, if I'm not at the front, I'm out the back straight away. Because I remember
mm.
on the start, there's a picture of us all just down at the start. I think it was about 300 meters afterwards, and I think only Zhang got through or something. And I was like, it's a good time, like it was a good time, like good thing I was at the front because otherwise I'd have
Mm.
been like, I was like, I was involved in it, but I think if I'd been any further back, I was like, yeah, that I think I probably was gonna like my race over a little bit. But I think I think with Belgium, you have to say to yourself like, this is going to be my last race because you like my last lap. You just don't know when it's going to end.
Mm.
Like, especially being lapped. I think I had a few races where I was pulled out like on the last lap, and I was like, if only I'd like put in that little extra bit on like the laps before, I could have got through. But I think with national champs, I knew that I was going to be safe. It's just racing more smart. Like I knew which lines to follow and focus more on my own race rather than someone else's race.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah, with the sort of, so for people who don't know, who are listening, like, in cyclocross there's the 80% rule that if you're, like, a little bit slower than the leaders, then you get pulled out just so you're not creating traffic congestion and at risk of being lapped. I mean, sometimes you still get lapped, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
But they pull you out, right? And I guess, yeah, if you think that could happen, you have to race every lap as if, as you said, that is your last, and put full
yeah,
effort in just in case it is. Because,
yeah.
yeah, like 15 seconds could get you an extra lap. It's kind of
It
like
is. It is
checkpoints in a video game as well.
yeah, because I remember my Sarah and Andy who helped me at the pits in Belgium and the UK. They were watching one of the races at home, and they were like, "You are so." I remember telling like them telling me afterwards, like, "You were so close to it. It was literally just like 5 seconds, and you wouldn't have been pulled." And like after that, I was like,
God.
"Oh my god, that's so annoying." Because it is just fine margins. Like if you just get held up at the start, just a tiny bit, that could affect the whole rest of your race if you get pulled.
Yeah, I mean, even just not getting clipped in straight away. could be the
Yeah,
difference. Like,
it's
it's
it's fine margins, it's tiny, some, like, because obviously, like, they don't mean to pull you out, and they do just let you go if you're, like, probably, like, 5 seconds behind it or something, but,
mm.
yeah, World Cups, they were on it, they were straight, like
Well, yeah, we saw. It was a few years back now, but like a back marker got in the way of Celine and Lucinda on the last lap of a
yeah,
race, and it actually changed. I think it could have changed the result. I can't remember exactly, but depending on who caught the rider at what point, did
yeah,
change the dynamics if it didn't change the actual result. It's
yeah.
like that's why they do it. It's nothing nasty or
Yeah,
pejorative
it's
against
not yeah.
anyone. It's like they're like, oh, I don't like the look of her. Like her
Pull her
style's
out.
all out of whack. Yeah, yeah, get rid. Um, but yeah, like you did get lapped by Fem in one race. I assume you got lapped and you weren't just leading her. I mean, that would be
Oh,
pretty
mate,
cool if you were.
yeah. I'll
But
take it if
like,
I was.
what did you like try and look at what she was doing as she came past to go, oh yeah, I could have taken that line, or are you just like in the hurt locker, just fully focusing on you?
I mean, she came past me at Antwerp on the sand, so I was already running, and she rode past me, and I was like, "Great, like that's amazing." I look like I'm running really slow now as well. I think it's just looking at her line, how that varied to mine, how she was her body position was so much different to mine riding the sand. Because in the UK we don't have that many sand races,
Hmm.
so for Antwerp to be my first World Cup on the sand as well, I was like, "Whew." Like that is a because I only got told like 2 weeks before as well, so it wasn't like I could go hunting for much sand because there's no sand anywhere near me that's like decent sand as well. So I had to
Oh
just
gosh,
like
yeah.
with like you got to like hunt for it because like sand just doesn't come natural like in the UK. Like
Hmm.
unless you go to a beach, but I live like what an hour and a half away from a beach, so
Yeah, I was
yeah,
about
I
to say
think
you're quite landlocked where
yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Not that I want to reveal your location, but I've seen from Instagram roughly where you are in the country, and I can tell you there are no beaches for a
There
while.
are no
Like,
beaches. Like, I think yeah, and like I was just like mid training. I was like, I'm not going to a beach. I'm just gonna learn like when I get there. And I think I had a good practice before it, but I think if I'd known that I was going to, I would have definitely practiced more on the sand.
yeah, I mean, why don't we start a campaign now for
Yeah.
DC to get like Skeg Vegas having a round of the national trophy? I mean, that would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I
Um,
reckon so.
yeah, I mean, accommodation's easy. Just stick everyone in Butlins. It's off season. No one's gonna
Yeah, there you go.
go. Massive, like, loads of chalets ready for you. Yeah, it's
I'll just go
plans
there.
coming together. Yeah, I'll get in touch with someone. See if we can sort something out. But like, I guess yeah. Like, how much planning do you have to put in then to a cyclocross season? Because you said like the cursed period is like crazy busy. Obviously,
Yeah,
all the World Cups are happening there. All the X Trail, all the whatever else races that I can't remember. Super Prestige. Like everything is pretty much condensed to Christmas, and then
yeah,
everything else is like the lead up to it, or the lead up to Worlds, or post Worlds. That's the three kind of
yeah.
segments.
The 3 blocks.
Yeah, and you said like you felt that you would have been kind of disadvantaged to do the cursed period order. Like, do you decide that in the moment when you're like approaching it, or did you kind of make that plan at the start of the season and go, "This is what I want to do. These are the races, etc., and this is how we're going to make it work."
I think I got the Hope series over and done with, so that was like
Mm,
what end of September, and I was like last year I think we realised how Coast Parade just affected me so much that I was like I just don't want to do it this year and see what happens. So I made that call pretty early on that yeah we're not doing it. Like after like the year before I was like yeah I'm just it's just like so many races at once. It affects like everyone obviously so much different, but I think for me it just made me so ill that I was like yeah, especially with A levels as well and the traveling. I was like, yeah, it's so
well,
much just for like 1 month.
yeah, also like if you think about it, like if you're traveling, you're either traveling constantly or you're
Yeah,
staying over there, and in either case, you're kind of pressured to do every race. Like
yeah,
if you're a pro and you're someone like Fem who lives in or lived in the Netherlands. I don't know where she currently lives, but from pretty much there, like travels less. and she can pick and choose because she still gets a
Yeah.
salary at the end of the day. As a
Yeah, it's
private
so
individual,
easy.
like, yeah, there must be a ton of pressure to just do as many races as you can to get, I guess, more bang for your buck, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think because obviously I went out to Belgium twice pretty early on, and
Mm,
that was the plan. Just get some early races in, get the early UCI points, get the early experience, and then just let everything happen. And then obviously I got the two World Cups as well.
mm,
And I was kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna leave like the cross period now, like the Christmas period, because like I don't want to see it. Like it's too much last year. Let's not do it again, and then just focus on national champs. So yeah, it
yeah,
was. I think you just have to make the call early and realize what the effect it had on me like the year before, compared to like now. National champs was so much better this year.
yeah. And like, do you have a favored cross course in the continent? Like, because there's so many iconic
Oh,
ones. Like, you've got your Namur, you've got Koppenberg Cross, you've got Tequil at Zonhover. Like, there's so many like
there
great
is.
courses.
I'll probably have to go with Holst.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember riding that as like a first year junior and being like, "Oh my god, this is insane."
Mm.
Um, but yeah, that was good. And then I don't know where else. I'm trying to think one in Belgium now. I'd probably go with like Rudevord. It's just simple, but it rides so well.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
sometimes this is about the rider as much as a spectator. Like,
No, I think like Rudevord, it's pretty simple, but it all flows really nicely.
mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
probably
think. Oh, sorry, I lost a sec. Um, can you still hear me?
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, as we were saying, hopefully I can stitch this together. Um, it's kind of great if a course flows because then it makes kind of the racing kind of not effortless because you've still got to put a ton of
Yeah,
effort in, but it makes it nicer for the riders and that can change the dynamic of a race versus in the Moor where it's just hard going. Like that is not an easy
yeah,
course, and that means that the racing is just attritional, and
yeah,
then you compare it to Tabor in Czechia where it's known to be relatively flat and relatively fast to make it quite a bunchy, like you can almost have a bunch sprint in that race. It's
yeah,
kind of wildly different, even though it's all cyclocross, it's still different. And
yeah.
I kind of love that about cyclocross.
I think for me, I quite like a technical course. Anything that's got
Okay.
some good off canvas, some good descents, like just nice corners, and like a little bit of mud, like not too much where it's like all running, just like
Mm,
a nice bit of mud where it makes it slick, it makes it slippy. There's a few sections of running, anything like that. Just yeah, that's what I think I quite like Holst because it's so technical.
yeah, I swear there was, it might have even been host like ages back. We're talking many years back, probably when you started cycling. So you like,
Probably won't
yeah,
have a clue.
yeah, there was one where, yeah, it could have been host where like it was so muddy because of just the weather was atrocious, where
Yeah,
it became a cross country race with bikes attached. Like you just everyone was shouldering their bike for the whole race, and it was just boggy and awful. Um, I would say that's too much mud to you. Um,
yeah. I mean, I remember Millenthorpe a few years ago, national champs. I just remember it was just a full on running race. Like no one could ride. Like there was only
mm,
like a little section you could actually ride. It was a gravel track, and the rest of it was just running. It was like, yeah, it was pretty awful. But I don't.
yeah,
I think as well because I've started running more this year than what I have more like previous years. So I'm
mm,
actually starting to like the running sections more because I actually do more running. So
yeah.
I think before,
Ah.
like, I didn't actually like running, so I didn't really enjoy the running courses. But now I
And
don't.
again, that plays into the kind of enjoyment factor. It's like now you
Yeah,
look forward to it almost, and
yeah.
you're
I'm
like,
like,
oh, actually, running's not bad.
yeah, it's not. It's fine. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, 'cause I also just remembered there's a race in America a couple of years ago where there's like that. There's a massive like mud bank that they had to go up,
Where?
and like people
Yeah,
were getting stuck and slipping down, and like there's probably someone still there on the first lap, like
yeah.
even
Trying to get back
today.
up it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, cyclocross. I I I very much am an advocate for that sport because it's it's great, and you get these things that you don't get in a road race. You don't get much in
Yeah,
mountain bike racing. Like, it's so unique to cross, but also it's super safe in some
yeah,
ways for like kids to train at. And I think with roads getting more dangerous, cyclocross is a great avenue, even though it's muddy and dirty and winter and cold and wet. Like, we'll live it. We're waterproof, you know.
who doesn't want to get on a field and get like muddy though? Like that's isn't that childhood now? I swear.
Yeah,
That's like when
exactly.
as a
Yeah,
little kid I used to love like getting on my cross bike and like getting muddy and like just yeah having you can have so much more fun on a cross bike than you can on a road bike. Just going off road and riding through like muddy puddles and off banks and yeah
yeah. And then obviously, at the end of your cross season, we've moved on to road.
yeah
You got a win already this season, which is great to see. Um, it was some sort of crit, I think. I can't remember the
yeah
name of it anymore.
uh,
Um,
Abington it was called
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, how was that? And then obviously you followed it up with the North Links Classic, or I think that's its name. I hope that's its name. Um, yeah, how were those two races for you?
Yeah, they were good. I think it's a new team, so learning like how the team works and how all the like dynamics of it are. But yeah, the win was good. It was nice to get one under the belt. It was a good like starting point for me. And then Lincolnshire Classic, yeah, that was good, except from a little crash I had. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think I felt so much better this year than what I have in previous years. That yeah, I'm looking forward to this year.
Oh, good. Because like I see North Lincolnshire, and like I am from Lincolnshire myself. I'm like, Lincolnshire is known to be flat. However,
This race was not flat.
no, I swear it was in the Wolds, and like that's the least flat part of Lincolnshire. It's just like,
Up and down. It was just up and down the
mm,
whole race. So I was like, oh, because I was expecting, like, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't even looked at the course. Like, I'm just going to go with a complete open mind, see what happens on foot, like lap one, see what it's like. And I remember going around. I was been like, oh yeah, there's a few bits that you can like that actually sting a lot. But yeah, it was good. It was a nice course. It was grippy.
yes, that would be the term. Grippy or sporting,
Yeah,
I think, is the other
yeah.
term that's used for that sort of thing. It's amazing what code that cycling develops for to avoid going, yeah, it's really hilly. Like, but like, yeah, how are you finding the kind of the step up from junior to under 23? Obviously, you mentioned you've got a new team.
Yeah.
Um, how did that come about? Like,
Um, I think I just got in contact with Nikki and I was like, just give me, I need a ride. Like, I rode, I rode on my own for quite, obviously for the first 2 years of junior, or the 2 years of junior, because I rode for a mountain bike team. And I was like, I just want to ride road now. Like, I'm just fed up of like turning up to a mountain bike race and just riding on my own.
mm,
Um, so I was like, I want to do more road. And I did all my training on road as well. So I was like, why am I not racing road? Um, so I did like one or two nationals as a junior, and then I was like, yeah, this year I want to hit it harder, actually train for it. So I just asked about really and see
wow.
what people were gonna like, yeah. Because I didn't want to join a Conti team yet, because I was like, I'm still doing my A levels. I can't commit to a massive calendar.
Yeah,
So like,
end up
there's
riding
gonna
the
be no
112 classic, and
yeah
then
like
like geography exam the next
the
day.
next morning like yeah
Ah,
yeah. So I think it's just keep it. I think my journey is on the up rather than doing a massive incline now. I'd
mm,
rather stay on the journey that I'm on and take like every season it comes rather than just making a massive step up into on the 23s.
yeah, and like, what are your ambitions for the year then? Because you said you want to do more road racing. Um,
Yeah.
well, do you set yourself goals? Are they results based ones? Are they performance based ones? Where, how does it work for you?
I think this road season is just more about experience, taking every race that comes.
Mm,
I'm not too bothered whether I get a good result or not. It's just I think with the new team as well, just take every race like as a new race, go open minded into it, and yeah, just see what happens. I've got no pressure to like perform my absolute best this year, so yeah.
mm. And I guess like kind of as a follow-up, like, what do you see as success generally in cycling? Are you someone who is normally results driven? And obviously, context of the new team and everything you're trying to achieve, you're saying that this year you're not results driven, but
Yeah.
are you normally, or how do things work?
I think I can be quite results driven, but I think when I know that I've had a good race and it's just like just purely off performance, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I had a good race then. Like even if I do really bad,
Mm,
I do like I get a little bit of like, oh, I can do well. Like I can perform. Like I can make everything link up. I can do this. I can do that. And it's just like it could be just pure performance rather than actually results.
mm.
And that's like I think Belgium last year. I think that was quite more like performance, and I wasn't too bothered whether I got a decent result. Like the results just came with the performance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, yeah, going to Belgium and doing cross is like, it's very hard to do well.
yeah,
Certainly early in your career. As a
yeah,
first year under 23 against the elites, because they don't have a separate category, yeah, like in the nicest possible way, you're getting your head kicked in, and
yeah, literally,
you have to find your own metric of success that isn't results driven, because
yeah,
the difference between 25th and 45th is like, sometimes it can be who's actually turned up, and
yeah,
where you're critted, and it's so based on external factors that you can't really survive
yeah.
doing that.
I think you've just got to be like, I'm here. That's all that matters. Like I've turned
Yeah,
up to a Belgian race. Whatever happens now happens. It's not. It's like out of my control completely. So like especially for the World Cups where I was good at the back, I was like, yeah, whatever happens happens. It's not even like I'm not too bothered about the result. I'm here, and that's all that matters.
yeah, I'm here, I've not injured myself, and I've
Yeah,
not injured anyone else.
yeah,
That's a tick. Like,
yeah.
I'd be happy with that. Like, yeah, so what can we hope to see from you? I know you said like you're just seeing what the experience brings, but are there any races that you're like, oh, I really want to do that this year, and it's on your calendar? Or is there anything we should look forward to from you?
I think Sickle this weekend should be
Oh
quite
yes.
an interesting one. That's obviously it is a bit gravelly, bit like a
Mm,
cross race just on road tires. So I'm aiming for that one a little bit, and then probably the crit series. I'm hoping to do quite well as well. So
yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm not.
obviously, this is going out after Cyclical Classic,
Yeah,
so
so let's.
congratulations on the result, whatever it was. I'm
Yeah,
I'm sure you did well, and I hope nothing bad happens and makes this look horrifically bad taste.
yeah,
But yeah, crit series, I could never get my head around crits. I just yeah. How do you find that? Does it help that you're from mountain biking and from cross, where you've got the bike handling and you have to make a quick start? Like, does that help
yeah.
you? I guess.
I think yeah, I think so definitely. I think just being like going from the gun, and it's only like an hour, like a crit race, so it's just
Mm,
exactly like a cross race, just bang, 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 constantly. I think, yeah, I think if I didn't do cross and mountain bike, I think I'd be better. Yeah, it wouldn't be great. I think
yeah.
even just like the technical stuff as well, the technical element, like you constantly going like this, constantly changing like direction. So I think yeah, to be able to carry your speed well as well.
Yeah, those were my two failings. Three failings was starting badly, rubbish at getting out of corners quick, and rubbish at keeping speed in corners. So, like, I'm more of a diesel, and give me a long hill, great. Like,
Get me on it now.
yeah, a crit, just it was havoc for me. I think I did one near you once, like Warwick. I guess that's kind of
Yeah,
West
it's kind of near.
Midlandsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not my cup of tea, but hats off to those who are good at it, because like Alec Briggs and doing
Yeah,
that, like,
insane.
yeah, especially like his, like, I don't know if you've ever watched his YouTube videos where like he talks about racing crits and like his tactics at each part. They're
I've
like,
watched a few of them. They're like, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, it really is. Like, that's the only way to describe it. And like, yeah, and he puts a lot of thought. Like, for me, it's just sprint your heart out, see what happens. Is very fatalistic,
Yeah.
but he's got like a ton of thought of like when to move up, when to put on the afterburners and get back to a group or whatever.
I think you've got to kind of think about it. It's like a crossroads. You've got to think about it before you turn up. But I think
Yeah.
there's so many things that can go wrong in a crit race though that I think it's like anything's out of your control. So
Yeah, I guess that's something that interests me as well. Is like, are you? This is going to sound weird, but let's go with it. Like, are you very conscious during a bike race? Like, because to me, like, certainly road racing, I'm like, I can spot flowers out the corner of my eye, and I can see what's going on. I'm very conscious of what else is happening. Whereas some people get like so laser focused that they only see the race and they don't notice anything around them. Like,
I'm so tunnel visioned. Like my race
really,
face, I think my race face says it all. Like I'm so on it that I wouldn't have a clue. Like someone could shout something at me, and I'd be like, "What?" Like I didn't even know you said something.
really, God,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
and
actually,
like my go
go
on.
on.
No, my parents say something to me, and I'm like, "Yeah, didn't even hear you." Like not a clue.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I remember looking at your results and where you've raced, just as part of prep, to let you behind the curtain here. I realised I watched you did Derby at Cross this year,
Yeah.
so I will have cheered you on, and neither of us will remember when
No,
it was
not a
because
clue.
I didn't really know who you were at the time, and you're not conscious of cheering, so
I'm not. No, I can't hear anyone. I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is.
is a perfect event where neither person knows it happened, but it did guaranteed happen.
Yeah,
It's
somewhere.
quite amazing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've only got two more questions now. You may be relieved to hear. Firstly, like the numbers behind you, like when did you start? I'm gonna make sure they're in shot when I
Yeah.
video edit this, so we're nice and side by side and people can see them. Like, are they just from this year, or I guess what's motivating you to keep them and frame them so lovingly?
I don't know. I've trained them since I started as like the international scene as a junior. So I've got all my numbers since first year junior.
Wow.
And then it's quite a collection. Like there's way more than that. Like they're literally like hiding somewhere else as well. Like I just collect them. 'Cause I think it's always because I always write on the back like where I came, what happened in the race, like is there anything bad like that would have probably changed that result. I don't know, like just like a little reflection.
Mm.
And then I think it was like quite nice the other day. Me and my sister were like going through and being like, "Oh look, this is from like this stage and like that day." And like it's just quite nice to look back on and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good result and that was a good day." And then like, "Oh, maybe that wasn't that so bad. Like that was quite a bad day as well." But yeah, I think it's like quite nice to look on like when you realise how far you've come as well.
Mm.
Like I think since like first year junior, I think I'd look now and be like, "Phew, like damn, she's doing quite well."
Yeah. It's that kind of that conversation with your younger self, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I quite like that.
yeah. I
I
think
mean,
it's
I gone.
there is quite a few like I think I'm gonna have to start binning them slowly, but I think just the special ones we're gonna have to keep.
You shouldn't bin them. Just like,
Yeah, but like there's some of them like oh maybe not.
really. Have you ever
Yeah.
finished a race and gone, well, that one's never making it to the frame?
No. To be honest, there actually hasn't been. I think there's only like the ones that you can't keep. They're the only ones that I'm like, oh, sod it, they're going now, aren't they? They're gonna have to go. But
Oh,
yeah.
be a shame. Yeah, also, then my final question is always just like, how can people metaphorically keep up with you? Because obviously you're way too speedy on a bike to actually keep up with. But how can people find you on social media and see what's going on in your life and in your racing career?
So my Instagram is _Becca_9. That's probably the best way of tracking me.
Yeah, amazing that you got in before. I mean, sad that you got in after 8 other Beckers, but before all the other Beckers in the world, that was
Yeah.
quite good going to be
Yeah.
only the ninth. And that one will definitely be on screen. There are so many variations of spelling Becker that it would just make it so much easier to put on. Yeah. So, Brill, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see what happens this season.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the chat as much as we enjoyed it. It's really great to talk to someone. The start of their adult career. It's great to hear from them and hear their take on everything. And yeah, I can't wait to see what she does in the future. Until next time.